listening to Grace Sharkey on Freightwaves Radio, here on Road Dog Trucking Radio, Sirius XM 146.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to Freightwaves Drive Time. I am Grace Sharkey, and I am here with one of our newest freight tech community contributors, Dan Cow, the CEO and co-founder of TruckSmarter, here to create an ecosystem perfectly made for owner-operators. And Dan and his company just received a investment of $25 million in their Series B funding round, led by Thrive Capital and a number of participants as well. And of course, in the past, have angel investors that we all know and love: Ryan Peterson, Jet McCandless, Jason DeBow, to name a few. I'm interested, as you're starting to grow and learn more about this industry, Dan, how have those partnerships helped excel your technology and almost create an even better, stronger ecosystem for your drivers on the platform as well?
Yeah, and I think we've been super fortunate to just work with incredibly talented investors, both just fantastic technology investors like Thrive and others, but then, as you mentioned as well, just industry experts that just know the space extremely well. And I think for us, it's just helping us learn a lot of the lessons that they've learned a lot faster, right? And I think just as we navigate within this space, there's a lot of discussions that we've had with folks like Jason and Jet, where, as we continue to help digitize various areas of this ecosystem of the freight industry, having a fully connected platform is what's going to help really drive efficiency, right, across the entire industry. So how do we connect the dots together, right? We have, hundreds of thousands of drivers on our platform with our banking platform and our factoring business. They're submitting PODs that is super important to help close the loop with the 3PLs and brokers that folks like P44 care about, right? So I think there's a lot of great synergies that we're going to start seeing as we continue to develop those relationships more. But I think a lot of it has just been building, right? And I think, whenever you're entering into a space that is large, that is massive, that has been worked on by so many people, it's just always important to partner yourselves with true experts that have been able to solve a lot of gnarly problems.
Totally agree. And I guess from your perspective, especially entering it, a little bit of a knowledge, right, from Uber Freight as well, but entering this space and maybe creating your own tools, what have been like key factors or lessons that you've learned to create that wonderful SaaS word of stickiness, right? And getting that loyalty from those drivers to have them coming back every time for these loads, because that's the toughest thing to do. I think a lot of these technologies out there, it's getting them to be loyal and dedicated to one app, and we all know we have hundreds of apps that we barely use on our phone. So what lessons have you learned to create that loyalty within your customers?
I think for us, it really comes down to just listening to our customers, listening to our truck drivers that use our platform every single day, and actually listen, right? I think a lot of people say, oh, you should always listen to your customers. But what we actually do is that we actually have a weekly forum where truck drivers are calling in every single Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time while they're on their drives home. And sometimes we'll get up to hundreds of different drivers that are on that call. And we're just discussing the state of the industry, right? Whether it's us just sometimes we go through design of products that we want to build, we get their feedback, and we are very conscious about the feedback that we get, and we make the appropriate adjustments, based off of that call. So I think for us, and we've been doing that every single week for over the last year. And so I think it's forums like that where it's like really putting yourself out there, really actually meeting the customer where they are, and actually digesting that information and incorporating that into what you're building.
That's amazing. I didn't realize you're doing that. And I think, I tell people from doing the show that this whole idea that drivers don't care about technology or prefer to not have it is just completely false. What the problem is that they're not a part of the conversation. No one's asking them. No one's putting them in there and saying, hey, this is our thoughts. Does that work in a truck driver's workflow? And you are answering that market perfectly by having it's so simple as just having these phone calls or having a webinar or having this discussion that they can be a part of. That kind of stuff goes a very long way. I love that. I didn't realize you're doing that. I'm happy to hear that as well. And for our audience out there, if they wanted to become a part of your family over there at TruckSmarter, become a part of these calls and learn more about your company, where exactly would you have them head towards?
They should, download the app, use the load board, and what we basically do is that we just send a message out to our most engaged users every single week, and we just say, hey, here's the link. At this time on Friday, we're going to have everybody. It's like, you get like 15 people from our company across engineering, business, across the entire company on that call, and we're just open. It's a complete open forum. And what I actually love about that is the call itself is only 1 hour, but what we actually do is that our team leaves, and we just leave that channel open for other truck drivers just to talk amongst themselves. And
wow.
We've seen that channel active for over 12 hours, just straight 12 hours as people are driving to the various truck stops that they're going to stay at that evening. And they're just sharing industry stories, right? And just creating that connection, which so many owner-operators and so many small fleet owners don't always have on the road. And I think that's also why, we love doing that as well, which is just really bridging all those gaps and sharing all that well-earned knowledge across the community.
That's amazing. Someone I think that you should reach out to, Dan, is check out BCB Trucking, or they have a show called BCB Live. And I was asking the founder of the show, why he started it, and it was for almost the exact same reason. They had the show because every morning they'd have all their drivers log in, and it was a way for them to update them on news and what was happening in the market. Yeah. And it became so popular that it became the show. So I'll make sure I send him a message about your company, because it's just funny. It's exactly how he grew his audience, and I'm sure it's how you're going to grow your carrier attendance to the app as well. It's good stuff. Yeah. And hey, go for it. No, go for it. You're good.
No, I was going to say that's part of the reason why we've been able to grow so quickly, right? It's because this is how this part of the industry learns about new technology. It's not always the ads that you're seeing on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is. It's through other folks within the community. And that's one of the, that's why we love doing this as well.
Awesome. Well, hey, you are a new contributor to our show. And whenever we bring on new people, I love to put them on the spotlight and have them share one of their hot freight opinions. And it doesn't have to be rationale. It can be just out of nowhere, something that you just are dead set on, even if it's, hopefully not, but even if you think the earth's flat. What is a hot freight opinion that you have that you want to share with our audience today?
Yeah, I have many, but I guess over the course of time, more than happy to share some of the spicier ones. But I guess relevant to this conversation, and I think you actually touched upon this, and I don't really think this is a hot take, and I hope it's not. But many of the truck drivers that we spend time with are just some of the smartest people that we've ever met, right? And I think we feel that they don't always get the credit that they're due. And I think if a lot of folks within the space are building tools that are trying to pull a fast one on them, they know. Like, these are entrepreneurs. These are folks that have took the risk to start businesses. They're incredibly tech savvy.
Yes.
They're very smart individuals, and I think for us, it's a community that we're excited to continue earning the trust of and continue building for as well.
Well, I think that hot freight opinion right there might just be that secret sauce. So everyone out there asking me what's going on, you heard it right here from Dan himself. And keep up with me. Let me know what you guys are working on, because like I said, it's been a while since I've gotten so much feedback about a new technology or startup that I've wrote about. And so I was happy to have you on the show today to kind of dive into that a little bit deeper. And like I said, we'll share your information too on our Twitter, so everyone can head over to TruckSmarter as well. Go into your Google Play or iOS Apple Store or App Store and pick that up and become a part of that team too. Thank you, Dan, so much for coming on the show. And everyone listening, we're going to head to a quick break here, but we'll wrap it up with a nice historical lesson and a social post of the day. If you have any questions, give us a call, 8888 Road Dog or 888-876-2336.